very good evening and welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Yeah, it's meeting number 1261. This beautiful evening is being themed brave, not perfect. And we have with us many brave hearts in such a perfect and a beautiful evening. Today at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, we celebrate our Women's Day and how we respect our women. Similarly, here at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, we respect certain rules in Toastmasters. We avoid using this middle line, and similarly, we respect and avoid talking on topics of sex, religion, and politics. To take this magical evening to the next level, we have a Toastmaster with us, a young, handsome gentleman. And he proudly says that it is his wife who's the main person in his life who transformed his entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming on stage our very own president of our club, Mr. Ayappa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome you all to the meeting number 1261 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Before I proceed, I declare the meeting number 1261. Now I request the Secretary Toastmaster Kamlesh to read out the minutes of the last meeting.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure to give the highlight of last meeting. Last meeting, another exciting session, and meeting started exactly on time. The best tag player was Toastmaster Aaron. Best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Sureka, and best evaluator was the Toastmaster Somsekhar, and the best role taker as a Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhirama. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamlesh. Members, any amendments to the minutes read? No? Thank you. With that note, I declare the minutes of the last meeting passed. A few guests in our meeting today. I request all the guests to stand up. And would like to share one or two lines about your introduction. Your name, what you do, if you're a member or a guest.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chetan Patel. This is my second week here. I'm a full-time stock trader and also talk about family business.
Good evening, I'm Suma. This is my first week activity, and I work as a teacher.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes. In fact, she just joined today as a member. Yes. Thank you. Dear members, let's give our guests a good round of applause. It's okay to be imperfect, but what we really need to worry on is we need to be strong, bold, and confident. Many of us fail because of the fear of rejection, fear of failure, right? Because of these things, the confidence is not building within us. Whenever we look at the newspaper, we read about the committing suicide, or addicted to the drugs, or some people are completely harassed, sexual harassment, and so many other things. One of the incidents happened in my family circle is 10 months back, one of my cousins, distant cousins, got married to a girl, and they were happily married. It was a lavish wedding. There were 1,000+ people. Fantastic wedding. I never expected this incident would happen. And they were happily married, and I saw them around a month back in one of the restaurants. They're enjoying having some food. It was fun. I thought, okay, everything is going well. A few weeks back, I got to know that the girl committed suicide. absolutely no reason why she committed suicide, such a rich family. And I was really shocked. Because it's all because of, we are not sharing information, we are not building the confidence within us, and fear of so many things we fail in life, because we should know how to accept the failures is in place. One such example I have in our club to the brave and bold. These two people personifies the brave and bold. The first gentleman I'm going to talk about is Dr. Rajiv Panwani. He lost his, most of you know that he lost his vision when not lose confidence in life. It was his mom, in one of the meetings he told, it was his mom who instilled the confidence in him. And he went on to become a PhD, and he is a professor in Jain College. Not only that, whenever he come and stand here on the stage, whatever he talks, it just directly come and touches here. It's all because of the confidence and the braveness he has within him. And second lady I'm talking about is BTM Sumitra Manmohan. Most of you know that she has rheumatoid arthritis, right? But one thing I like about this lady is she keeps the problem and the mind completely separate. She never segregates both. And she has got this problem. In spite of that, she comes to the stage. When I come and stand here, her voices, it reverberates entire room. It could be evaluation, it could be the table topic, it could be storytelling, whatever she talks. And she makes sure that every audience is listening to her. She's so brave and powerful. These two gentlemen, Dr. Rajiv Panwani and DTM Sumitra Manmohan, I could say they are the main persons in our club, and everybody should look up to these two people. Let's give them a huge round of applause. We have to be brave. Okay, it is not about the failure, rejection, absolutely not. Dr. Manwani could have been because he would have dreamt of something else, but he took the career of getting to the academic, right? And Sumitra Manmohan as well. Whenever she comes to the stage or talks, it feels like listening to her. She might be having should have had some other thing to wanted to become in life, but she chose this, right? Whatever it is come to your hand, that is very important. And we all have to share our things with other people. When the sharing happens, when we're confident, we are powerful in our talk, then sharing will happen. Most of us keep 90% of things within us. We don't share, and because of all these things, the misery, you name it, it could be suicide, drug addiction, all this is happening. Coming back to Toastmasters, even in Toastmasters also, it is a perfect platform to develop confidence. I'm talking like this today, it is because of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I was not like this before, because we fail miserably at times. If I look at my icebreaker speech, I was nothing, absolutely nothing. Now I could speak this much in front of this audience. I could speak to 100 in front of hundreds of audience. The failure, we have to fail in life, and we have to accept the fail. More and more we fail, more and more we bounce back, we become more and more powerful, more and more strong. That is what this Toastmaster brought me, and I hope it's the same. It helps our members and guests as well. Now, to take the meeting further, we have a lady amongst us. She works for an exhibition company. She's a deputy director that company. She's been in Toastmasters for the last 2.5 years. And she joined our club through, she was speaking so well, her icebreaker speech in Toastmasters, in the speech crowd, and she's completely forgotten at one point of speech. And again, she took a small break and she came back, and that speech still, I think I was a coordinator, I don't remember, I think I was a coordinator. And I still remember her speech, it resonates in my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the MC of this evening, Toastmaster Hannah Victoria.
Thank you, President Alpa, for that lovely introduction. A very good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Thank you. Thank you all for making it happen today. In the sense, the last 1 year, all of us have changed our commitments, our routines, our priorities. But our Toastmasters journey, the more we put our time and effort in it, it is like carving a golden chapter in our lives. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you all to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Has it ever happened to you that when you read or listen to a set of words, you feel like as if it has been penned down for you, just for you? It strikes that inner chord. The theme for today's meeting is one such like that. It says, brave, not perfect. The way I would perceive the theme is that, especially keeping the Women's Day context, we have this unexplainable urge to be perfect. Most of us have it, but it's more obsessively in women. I've noticed that somehow we are hounded and pounded by the fact that we need to be perfect. We want to achieve things which we are 100% sure that we will achieve. We want to ask for things which we know we will receive. I have observed that girls are brought up in a slightly different manner to boys. Girls are taught to play safe, to ask what they can receive. We pass up opportunities which scares us and avoid rejection at all costs. To give you an example, in my life, I had 6 years of experience in the exhibition industry, and I had moved to being a senior project manager. I moved to Dubai to join with my husband. And there, I would apply for jobs only for freshers or project assistants. And then I got to be a project assistant in the exhibition industry. And it took me another 7 years to climb to a project director. What I could have achieved in just 9 years took me 13 years to achieve, because I did not have the courage to ask what I wanted. But I'll give you another example of me being gutsy. It was my husband. I would give it credit to my husband. It was appraisal time, and I kept whining at home that I'm not paid well. My colleagues are far ahead of me, and I think he was quite tired of it. So he told me, "Why don't you ask for 100% increment?" I remember looking at him and saying, "Are you nuts?" He said, "You ask." And I remember having 3 or 4 days of sleepless nights just dreading to fill that assignment, the assessment. But I kept thinking I kept thinking about the dialogue to say, they would say, how can you ask? How dare you ask? They may ask me to leave. Many such things. But finally, just to please my husband, I did send in 100%. I did ask for 100% and explain to them, though, I mean, logically, I did explain to them why I needed 100% hike. And guess what? I did get that 100% hike. Toastmasters and yes, so this is an instance of being brave, not perfect, because there was 100% chance that I wouldn't get it. But this is, I mean, when we take gutsy decisions, I think there are both positives and positives to it. Now, as we start the meeting, for the benefit of the guests, a brief introduction to the Toastmasters International. Toastmasters was started by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. Today, Toastmasters is present in 145 countries with 16,200 clubs all over the world. And the wow factor is that 54% are women of the 364,000 Toastmasters. So women, give it all. Give it a try. an interesting fact is that Dr. Ralph C. Smedley started 5 Toastmaster clubs before this, before 1924, in 5 different cities. It was the 5th time which the concept caught on. So Toastmasters, this is another instance of brave, not perfect. Great. A Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 sections. The first is the prepared speech. The second is an impromptu or the table topic section. And the third is the feedback and the evaluation section. As we start the first part of our meeting, a warm introduction to our very special Toastmaster, who's the general evaluator for today. She's a teacher by profession. She loves teaching math. I recall her saying during one of her table topics that though the syllabus may be the same for years, but her students teach her different ways of doing the same math problem. This charming general evaluator joined Toastmasters in 2015, and she has been mentored and molded by Toastmaster Prakash Francis, Toastmaster Cherin Thomas, DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, and distinguished Toastmaster John Bosco. One of her gutsy decisions in her life was to continue working. Monetary-wise, it wasn't necessary for her. Her husband was having a 10 to 12-hour shift every day, so he couldn't support her. Neither did she have her family around with her. But yet, she made up her mind. She was emotionally, physically drained, but yet she made up her mind to continue working. And today, she's most happy of the decision she took. Please give it for Toastmaster Smita Roshi.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Nama. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. As the general evaluator for today, it's my duty to look at everything that's happening in the meeting and everything that is not happening. So I'll be making note of that. Madhurya, the founder of Vision, says communication is everything. And when you communicate, your grammar should be perfect. You should have the perfect timing. You should not have many clutch words. All these are taken care of. When you're a Toastmaster, you are getting constant feedback about all this. From taking care of all this, I have 4 role players who will help me. I request Toastmaster Mahesh, who's the timer, to read out the timing guidelines.
Thank you, General. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It was a gutsy movement of Srijit asking me to take a timer role as soon as I entered. As the timer, it's my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual parts. For today's meeting, the speeches are 5 to 7, except for DTM Teresa, where it will be 8 to 10 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will hold up the green card. At 6 minutes, yellow card, and at 7 minutes, red card. And the same thing will go for DTM Teresa, where it would be green card at 8 minutes, yellow card at 9 minutes, and red card at 10 minutes. So in case of table topic speeches, it will be between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will hold up the green card. At 1.5 minutes, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, red card. I will give my report to the general evaluator and submit to the club secretary in order to become a part of permanent record. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh. The up counter for today is Toastmaster Guru. Guru, can you please explain?
Thank you, G. Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Yeah. Aha, oh, like not all those things. It's very simple. It is repeated words and clutch words. And my job is to count and give the report at the end of the meeting to the general. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you for making us laugh too. Our grammar king for today is Toastmaster Robinson, sir.
you and good evening everybody present here. My role as grammarian is introduce the word of the day, gutsy. Gutsy means brave and bold. I request all of you to use it in your presentations. Two persons have already used it. You must have heard. Anna twice and Mr. Guru once. Sorry, Mr. Mahesh once. And from Mahesh, I learned it can be used in the other way also. To blame another person for requesting him to be the time manager. That I didn't know. Thanks for teaching me, Mr. Mahesh. I request all of you, those who come here, to use the word in the sentences. One of them could be gutsy attitude is required or is a foundation to develop public speaking skills. My duty is also to watch errors, grammatical errors committed by speakers, inappropriate use of words, use of wrong words, or exceptional use of words and phrases. I am glad our president has used one such a phrase, according to me, that's strong, bold, and confident. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Robinson. So every word you will be listened to, and there is a person who will test you on. Toastmaster Srijit will be the listener for today. Would you like to explain your role? Okay. But I wanted to give you a chance to speak.
Previous Toastmaster, yes. So another very moment for me. That's what I as a listener, I will be carefully listening all the speeches and I make some notes. And at the end, I will come up and ask some questions, and maximum 5 questions. So we will test your listening. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sridhar. Over to you.
The first speaker is a confident young Toastmaster who's in her second year of computer science engineering from BNN Institute of Technology. She's attempting her project 2 in level 1 in the pathway presentation mastery. May I request her evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka, who's an absolute fitness freak and the current VP Public Relations of our club, to please read out the guidelines.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this speech, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic received from the previous speech and apply the feedback to the second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. And the time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyanka. This speaker has been a Toastmaster for the last 1 year. Her mentor is DTM Sumitra Manmohan. She believes that every person she meets, she can learn something from them. One of her biggest influences in her life is her mother. Her mother is an independent woman, brave and pushes her forward to do new things. Her mother has always taught her to embrace new experiences, new learnings, and it was her mother who influenced her to travel alone when she was just 8 years old, to travel to the US with her grandmother. The speaker said that it is an experience she will always cherish. This is the speaker's first time on the actual stage. So please welcome Toastmaster Kirtana. The speech title is Pour It Out. Pour It Out, Kirtana.
Emotional quotient. EQ is the capability of individuals to recognize their own feelings and express them as well. When we choose not to express, we tend to act different and we end up hurting the people closest to us. When we express them, it takes that burden off our shoulders. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. Emotions are anger, disgust, happiness, sadness, and happiness. Out of them, sadness makes us cry. And according to a research, it says an average woman cries 6 times and a month and twice more than men. So why is this? Is it because they are less mousy? No, not at all. The reason is that there's a hormone called testosterone present in men, which inhibits them from crying a lot. And whereas there's a hormone called prolactin in women that promotes them to cry more. It's also said that crying activates 17 different muscles. So who's more fit now? So it's okay to cry and it's okay to pour it out. Well, here's why. Tears, T-E-A-R-S. The 5 letters represents each benefit. I'm going to tell you now. T. Toxins and negative hormones are flushed out of our body. When we have had a good cry, when you're feeling very sad and very depressed or something, you cry, you tend to cry a lot. And after that, you feel relieved. Why is that? It's because you're throwing out all the negative hormones and the hormones that make the stress go higher in your body. So when this happens, you are throwing out all the negativity and your stress levels are decreased, which in turn increases our immunity and we lose weight as well, according to a research. So next is E. Eyesight has improved. Eyesight is improved. How do you feel after a very long, hard day when you've not had a chance to drink a lot of water? The chances are that you're pretty dehydrated and very thirsty. Our eyes are same as well. They need water to stay hydrated. So when we cry, we are increasing the hydration level in our eyes, which in turn helps us in focusing our vision and improving the overall focused vision. A, the antibacterial effect. So when we are outside, we are exposed to thousands of dust particles and dirt. Sometimes few of them go into our eyes. So we end up going this, poking it out and trying to get it out of our eyes. So instead of doing all that, which causes irritation, if we just close our eyes and sit back and allow our eyes to tear up, it automatically tears up and the dirt comes out. So we can wipe it off with a clean napkin or a towel later. So when we do that, there's a very powerful antibacterial chemical that is released, which keeps our eyes clean from all this dirt and prevents infection. Our relationships are strengthened. How? When we cry, we are always showing this happy side of us to all our friends, family members. We also have this sad side. Nobody expresses it. Most of them try to hide that sadness out of so that others don't get sad as well. But when we express, we are inviting them to see the other side of us as well. So we are indirectly telling them that you're close to us. This is who we are. And this is how the emotional bonds are deep. S. Sanitizes our eyes. When we cry, this sanitizes our eyes and prevents and cleans it as well. So next time when you feel that your eyes are swelling up with tears and your lips are quivering and you're feeling very sad, don't hold it back, pour it out. So when you can either go pour it out on a pillow, somebody's shoulder or somebody's lap, or maybe if you prefer to do it in the shower and say, I'm not crying, it's just the water that's flowing on my face. It's fine. Do not hold back whatever you feel. Express them, feel free, pour it out. So let's just recap the benefits of tears. T, toxins and negative hormones are flushed out. E, eyesight is improved. A, the antibacterial effect. R, relationships is strengthened. S, sanitizes our eyes. Pour it out. Happy evening and happy Women's Day. Back to you.
Has taught me one takeaway. So I'll cry more, then I will reduce my weight. So one more to-do list on my to-do list. Speaker number 2. Speaker number 2 is an enthusiastic Toastmaster who's a SAP FICO consultant working with various clients. The speaker is attempting a project 2 in level 3 in the pathway presentation mastery. May I request her evaluator, the gorgeous Toastmaster Simran Chopra, who's an entrepreneur, a certified transformation specialist, and has been in the executive committee of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for several terms, to please read out the guidelines.
Thank you, madam. Good evening. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing speech with an emphasis on adding language to increase users and simultaneous
Is aspiring to be a teacher. She's a mother of 2 and perceives positivity in negative situations. She says quitting is not in her work. In the quote which says, the person who says I can and the person who says I can't are both usually right. She has, to her credit, participation in the International Speech Contest and the table contest, and is mentored by DTM Sumitra Manmohan and Toastmaster Rahel. One of the gutsy decisions she had taken was to take up her father's business after his death at the age of 20. With her hard work and perseverance, she achieved her goals. Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nazni with her speech title, Heaven on Earth, Nazni.
Thank you, Hannah, for that wonderful introduction. So, shall I start?
Please, go ahead.
Quintessential, quality, clear, quick, quiet. This is what means the enigmatic land of Switzerland to me. Good evening, Toastmasters, esteemed participants, and my dear honored guests. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Summertime is the best time of our life to be happy and merry. My husband and I decided to go on a vacation in 2011 along with our children. Opened our hand to our children. Their excitement knew no bounds. Bag in bag, we boarded the flight. It was a 12-hour journey, right? And we landed at Geneva, the land which belongs to the great physicist Albert Einstein. When we went there, our accommodation was at one of the famous resorts, Mountain Lake Piers. We were chauffeured in a limousine in grand style. My children were elated the most as they walked in the limousine. When we entered the resort, we saw the staff greeting us really warmly. We thought that people of Switzerland were not warm people. But this misconception of mine went away. Our room was on the 4th floor. And there, as soon as I entered, I was bewildered. It was like a palatial, odoriferous regal boardroom. I was stunned. A 60-inch television on the screen? My God, unbelievable, honestly. The jacuzzi in the bathroom and the view from the balcony left me speechless. 24-hour room service was definitely impeccable, and also it was to the utmost, which I did not expect. They also advised us places that we would have to visit, which will make our stay pleasant in this beautiful country. Our resort was situated on a tiny hill surrounded by lush green forests. The pine and the oak trees were enormous, and one could hear the chirping of the birds in the wilderness. What a view, what a place to be. The sky was always blue. There were no clouds. The sun was shining brightly, but the temperature was moderate. No wonder it is called the heaven on earth. It takes a gutsy person to climb the Swiss Alps. There is some purity in the Swiss Alps. When we started climbing the Swiss Alps and reached a point, wow, fantabulous, an unforgettable view. I couldn't believe it. Literally and figuratively speaking, my family froze for that millisecond. Just I feel like I'm freezing now. I can just, nostalgia takes me back to those days. Then the skiing through the ice, hearing the cowbells ring, and also we could hear the birds chirping in the meadow. And then the snowball fight was the best of all. While we relaxed with a picnic, at one of the mountain meadows. We visited 4 more shrines dedicated to 4 gods, respective gods, and the dedication of the people were truly inspired me. The way they were dedicatedly, they were dedicatedly moving towards the path of purity. The purity of that whole place was enveloping, I guess. We went to the city in a limousine provided by the resort. Again, there were tall skyscrapers, and we went to the tallest tower there, Makila D Tower, with a stunning view. As they say, you're not fully dressed until you wear a perfume. And being an ardent perfume lover, I purchase many perfumes, right from Chanel to Burberry, and the list will go on. We shopped till we literally dropped dead. And the best part of our trip was at the resort. The resort was a beautiful one. On the terrace, they had an enormous pool with 17 slides. Imagine, we made it a ritual so that we could dive in each day, every day in these pools. I wanted to live there all my life. Helvetia is the great personification of Switzerland? Definitely yes. I would sum it up as the amazing beauty of this Alps, the cosmopolitan cities, and also this and towering castles are something that worth watching for. And definitely, I would like to say that add to it a little bit of shopping and delectable chocolates and cheese, and there you go. Q or yo means carpe diem. Q or yo. Thank you.
So much was inspired me to add on Switzerland in my bucket list. Speaker number 3 is an absolute favorite for many of us. She's a great storyteller. The speaker is attempting a milestone speech in her path, leadership development. The evaluator for speaker number 3 is DTM Sunitra Manmohan. DTM Sunitra Manmohan is the inspiration, one of the great inspirations of our club. She was the first woman president of Bangalore Toastmasters Club and the first woman in Bangalore to attain the title of the Distinguished Toastmaster DTM. May I please request you to kindly read the guidance.
For that introduction. My fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, the speaker is completing the path, and the project is reflect on your path. So the purpose of this speech is for the member to reflect on her growth during the completion of the path. And secondly, she is also to share some aspect of her growth while completing the path. It's back to you. Thank you.
This speaker has been a Toastmaster for the last 5 years. Her mentor and role model in Toastmasters is Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza. One of her gutsiest decisions she took was to quit her job when she was in the peak of her career. She was very apprehensive that she may get into a depression, but post-quitting, she made the most of her time. She learned swimming, keyboard, and she joined Toastmasters as well. Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together for DTM Teresa. Her speech title is Reflection.
Choices reflect your hopes, not your fears, said Nelson Mandela. Yes, until and unless you come out with your fear, will not be able to receive your hope. gentle lady, Toastmaster of the day, and my guest is Happy Women's Day. Thank you. I wouldn't tell her if I had run with fear in 2015. You know why? The day I came here, attended the similar meeting. All the men, cold, and the ladies were in the mini maxi and heels, all with fantastic, fabulous English. And I was sitting there and thinking, did I come to the wrong place? No, this is not my place. And I went out. And I took exactly 9 months to deliver my first ever icebreaker speech. And that meeting's general evaluator took gutsy decision, stood here and said, and he asked everybody why the speaker took such a delay in her first delivery. And after the meeting, I went to that gentleman and said, "Sir, will you please be my mentor?" He said, "Why not?" And from that day onwards, my Toastmaster till now, he is showing me the path with his encouragement, with enthusiasm. It's none other than Toastmaster Robinson. I wish I would do CC, everything, and I've started this leadership development. And I did not wait for 9 months, not even 9 days, to do my icebreaker second time. Because I was waiting for the audience to tell about me, why did I join Toastmasters, what it gave to me, and I wanted to explain about my mentor too, so that others also can be great mentors. Second speech was as Kirtana did, and in that L1P2.2 was too wonderful, where the Saturday in Talk Magic I gave L1P2.1. Second day itself, I got a slot to give in speech studio. We have heard about strike the rod when it is hot, right? Yes, second day itself, I had to use all my feedbacks and give the speech. I don't know whether the speech was wonderful or not, but I was very happy because the G of the first speech was evaluated of my second speech. Then the research of the level 1 is from all. Level 2, my Toastmaster, first itself, the project was about the time management. I thought, wish I could join Toastmasters much before this, or I would have joined, born much later, because time management was really very hard to me. But I learned in this project how to manage my time. Second one was about our leadership, understanding your leadership style. I went through all, there were 7 to 8 leadership styles, starting with affiliative, alternate, and what is that, authoritative, democratic, and what is that, coaching and innovative. I was thinking when I was going through, oh, I will be democratic because that is what my quality is whenever my husband says. Then I thought, oh, I mean authoritative, that is what my daughter says. Then when I was going through everything, I had to answer 48 questions. And there I saw my leadership quality was coaching. Both my husband and daughter were not correct, but how can I go and tell back? And it's not, doesn't matter. But I continued. Then the third project was Toastmaster mentoring. Here I got an opportunity to show my gratitude to all mentors in my life, starting from mother, my primary teacher, my neighboring uncle, neighboring auntie, and all the ending with my mentor, Robinson D'Souza. I got the opportunity to thank them. Then the project was level 3, where I had to plan and execute, plan and implementation. When I was going through all this, I was thinking, where will I plan and then execute? Yes, just 15 days, there was my husband's 60th birthday. I used this project and all these guidelines. I called all his old friends in and around Bangalore. 11:59, I made them sure to be on the door. Open the door. They came to the bedroom. My husband was fast asleep. They came and my husband was first time I'm so joyful, tears, and he was so happy. in front of friends. He hugged me too. I was really surprised. And then he thought, his friend said, yes, you did right, because of her only we all come here. Then other relatives were inspire their audience. Just like you people, I will laugh. When I give, they also they laugh. Then there was storytelling. Some people had already tears in their eyes. Then the level 4 was lead your. Yes, what I learned in the lead meeting. And some of you know that I was a president in Top Magic Club Participants. There I had to plan a 400 meeting. That was a special meeting. In that project, I can tell you, I really learned a lot. I delegated some jobs to VP and VP membership, secretary, the treasurer, and I made a committee, and our 400 meeting was super duper, fantastically done. And all my club officers were very happy for that. So I will tell you, don't forget to lead the team. Fifth project was to make an event. Conduct an event. Yes, I got that opportunity too. Even though Corona was on its December, Christmas week. How many of heard Bosco Money of Champions? Yes, it is an organization where the street children will be taken care, they will be taught, and there we got an opportunity to conduct a program. My children's friends, some were with Josephite, some were with Jain University, some were from Christ. I put them together. Some were good in guitar, just like Amelvin, some were in drums, some were good in singing. They all put together, they did a wonderful show. The event was so good, even now the boys of Boscombe is asking, ma'am, can you teach us choreography that day? Have you danced? Ma'am, can you ask that Mr. Prakash to come and play the guitar? We want such events. My dear Toastmasters, what do you all learn from this? Whenever I wanted to go through all this leadership development, starting from manage your time or your planning implementation, lead your team, or your planning an event, everything happened because ask and you should receive, and it will be open to you. That is how I got all the opportunities. Now I finished this part. What next? Yes, there are so many opportunities outside of Toastmasters. I plan already to go to NGO and also events in our family life. I can lead a team in my house itself. I have one husband and 2 children. Yes, I'm leading them, but leading from back. Also, sometimes when he is not there, I'm leading from front. And then the second path I have to choose. I choose immediately the second path. When our President Toastmaster Ayappa put in BTMC group, path is free. Come join me, take it, grab it. I grabbed immediately and I already taken the second path. Today, being a wonderful day and a celebrating Women's Day, there, I all tell you, please come and reach your goal. Gentlemen there, yes. Wherever you are, allow them, help them to come out with their fears and bring them here and enjoy your journey as I enjoy. Over to you.
Congratulations, DTM Teresa, for that wonderful speech. You just took us through the journey of what we will go through when we complete our path. We will now take a short break of 10 minutes and we will be back with the table topics session. May I request you all, the snacks will be passed, but if you can keep place clean, please, not to litter. Yes? Yes. Join back in 10 minutes. Yes, if you all want to know more about the club, you can come come over. Give me one. I didn't know it would become a humorous speech. I was actually scared. I thought of doing it with a free heart. Somehow I got scared. I wish I hadn't done effort.
Because if you are the purpose, you know, you are there. You want to take this.
I didn't have much time.
The beauty of this, I can tell you what
I didn't have much time. I had all these exams. It was actually very
My wife is very fond of
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a print place outside. You kindly dispose it outside. There's a print place outside.
Do you have that waste today?
It's outside. I don't know. I just announced. I was not loud enough on the microphone.
Time over.
May I request all of you to kindly be seated? We take the opportunity to thank Toastmaster Sureka for week after week giving us these delights, which we all of us look out for. The table topics master for today is a beautiful young girl who has an amazing voice. I remember when Lark Dolly visited our club, she had given her a souvenir for her invocation song. The table topic master, she is mentored by Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. One of the bold decisions in her life was to observe fasting. once in every 15 days, even without sipping a drop of water. She has been doing it for the last 5 years. Initially, she thought it wasn't possible, but then she realized it's all about mindset. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Varsha.
Thank you so much, Hannah. I probably would say that this is a tougher task compared to that of observing the fast. Butterflies in the stomach, butterflies in the stomach, sweaty hands, wetty pants. We described table topics session with many such words, but then I see table topics as an unlimited opportunity, which has no boundaries, which has no barriers, because you get to unleash the creativity and you can have fun unlimited. I can promise that. Not while you're on stage though, but looking at the others on the stage. So without further ado, because I feel that it is to do with dealing with our day-to-day situations, the first segment of the session that I am going to conduct will be with dealing through the tough situations. Now, let me call upon the first iconic pair, DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani and his mentor, Toastmaster Vijay Anand sir on. I'll be announcing the situation as time. Please note, the time for this situation will be 5 minutes. 5 minutes from both of them, 2.5 each. So they're celebrating their first marriage anniversary. Rajdeep sir is a stubborn wife. Vijay Anand sir, without informing Rajdeep sir, has got 2 movie tickets for a Rajinikanth movie, while Rajdeep sir is planning to take her husband to a shopping mall to shop. They have only half a day. Let's see what they do. You're
I'm the wife.
yeah. Now.
I got tickets for
Yes.
Okay. I have to take him to. Okay. So they both have to.
Yes, bargain and see what you.
Vijay, darling. It's a wedding anniversary. You remember?
Absolutely.
It was so sweet of you. You are so gutsy when you
proposed to me. Exactly. Now you want me more gutsy, darling. You have to see a Rajini movie. It cannot be Kamal Hassan movie or Amitabh movie or Ajay Devgan movie.
Don't hold my hand so tight, my God. No, we are doing this.
No, because if you making me to sleep without that seat.
Okay. I tell you what, we go for that shopping mall. Remember when you proposed the first time? You have taken me and you told me, sweetheart, I'll buy you anything you want. Today I'll buy you. I'll tell you why.
You're give me one. You know that you can chance to speak.
Please, I'll tell you why I want. I'll buy you something.
No, I don't want anything. You're the biggest in my life.
No, I'll tell you why.
In my life.
I'll tell you, I
being
want
in
to
my
buy.
life, only tears.
In the last 6 months, your underwear is torn and you've not replaced it. You stupid fellow. So I'll buy you some nice Gucci underwear.
No. I don't want underwear. I don't wear anything at all.
Darling, I know you're not even going to it on stage.
See,
darling, I'll tell you what. You know when you go to the shopping mall.
We can't be naughty. We can't be naughty. In a theater, the lights
in
are
Rajinikanth, what do you mean naughty? What are you seeing from him?
not actually you, my darling.
No, you. Rajinikanth.
Rajini
Vijay can't.
Give me a chance to speak. What is this? Now see, Rajini performs stunts over there. I perform stunts in theater.
With your torn underwear. No, I'll buy you something else. I'll buy you perfume. I'll buy you something. But it's only thing you have to swipe your credit card.
Don't worry, I will swipe. I can do that for years. What's new? I've been swiping my credit card for years, wiping all the sweat, wiping all the tears. But don't worry, today is different. See, when you go shopping, the same thing you do. You will see 100 items. You'll say, no more choice. Only so many colors.
Nothing. I'm telling you.
Something.
I'm telling you.
See, even the Japanese, the land of rising sun, they watch Rajnikant. You always love the Japanese.
Don't exercise your testosterone, exercise your prolactin. Pour it down. Pour out all your tears, and I will wipe it for you, and I will make you the best underwear you've ever worn in your life.
That I've been pouring out for 20 years with my love. Now let us it's totally dried up. There's no more tears to come out. Let us watch Rajni. Let me laugh for a change, my love. You're only making me cry.
It's not love, it's your mother-in-law. Correct? You just making so unhappy all these days.
Only two think his mother-in-law will not come, I promise you. Only you and me.
You go with your mother. I go to the shopping mall with somebody else.
Mother doesn't give word to me, but you are giving word to new ideas.
I'm telling you, see, you want to retain your wife. Otherwise, you be bored.
No, that has been taking about 20 years. See, now I don't want to leave you. You're giving me ideas now.
Okay. I was actually holding the issue.
See, because that's a love. Always been hand in, yes, I've always been hand in hand with you.
No, because I don't go whenever you hold my hand, you don't allow me to shop.
That's the idea. That's the idea. But see, more than
we are so happily married. You're happy, I'm married. So now let's turn it around.
See, now I think we can go to the shopping mall and acquire things. Let's acquire memories, experiences.
I make you experience something new in the shopping mall. We go to the toilet.
That idea stinks. That idea stinks.
I will you go to the toilet. I'm sorry. Okay.
That has been going for 20 years.
Beautiful place where they have such beautiful lighting, and then
the movie theater, the lights are on.
Where did you switch off the lights?
Before it becomes dark, the lights are on. The shopping mall, the same clothes, the same people. And there's no fun. We can't sit next to each other.
Let's do one. Correct or no?
And I got a corner seat. Use it in the corner. So no other guy can come even sit next to you. And I got it in black.
He's sitting a set behind me.
That's all right. No worry. They can't see your beautiful face.
No, darling, let's come to a compromise.
Which
What
is?
we do? You go for the movie and give me the money. I'll go where I want, and I promise you I won't buy anything more than 20,000.
No, you don't like because, but no,
you have given me a jewelry
no, why to lose this? No, why? You're pushing me, brother. You're pushing me into the arms of the wife. The red card has come.
Stubborn voice.
Wishing couple. I'm moving on to the next topic. And for this situation, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Abhay and Toastmaster Soma sir on stage. Okay. So we have Big Boss happening at BTMC. Both of them are very strong contests. But unfortunately, the house needs only one captain for this week, and the captain is going to get the immunity, and thereby he will not be eliminated for this week. Now, because both of them have equal number of supporters, both of them should appeal to the Big Boss, who is Dr. DTM Rajdeep Manwani, that they are the right fit for the captaincy. 1.5 minutes each, and then they get 1 minute each to conclude. Starting with Soma sir.
Behind every successful man, there is a woman. And beyond an unsuccessful man, there are many. So this time, in this house of Big Boss, right? So we see you have invited all sorts of people who had who have been successful and unsuccessful in the measure which I mentioned. And I think what I really have is this brave, bald head, which can, think beyond what you really see there. And with my leadership ability, I think actually I am really the right man to take this house forward. Over to you.
Big boss, you just heard that behind a successful man and an unsuccessful man, there could be women, but behind me, there are no women. And the reason why I should be in this house and lead this captaincy team or team in the terms captain is because I've won all the challenges. I've done a lot of gossip and I've done a lot of terrible things that actually are the very symbol of Big Boss. And if you want your show to be, going ahead, earn those millions, watch those many views, then you must definitely have me as a captain. Because I definitely, play a lot of politics. I definitely, win more challenges. I definitely cheat a lot. And moreover, my contestant is a very Sida Sada person. That's why he's gone bald. So definitely, Big Boss, you must have me, and you must not have Sir here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, conclusion.
Okay, it's a debate.
No, finally, you've got to conclude after you've heard his wish.
And how many?
1 minute.
That was already.
Yes, the captain, should be, so everyone's a cheater here. So I don't believe that if a captain is also a cheater, then, this won't be justice. Justice is not done actually for these contestants. And of course, actually, our other captain contest, he's smart, and as he mentioned, he doesn't have any women experience. And today you see here there are actually more of 10 of them are women. And I think the way I have led women at home, I think the season you have ever witnessed.
Big Boss, the other competitor will only make this interesting. I will make it scandalous. And Big Boss only runs on scandals. The TRP of Big Boss is only because of the scandals. And all because of all the kissing and smooching that goes on, behind the cameras. And the timer is showing the red card. That means it's time for us to say that, yes, I will be the next captain of the team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wishing both the contestants the very best. Leaving the decision to the Big Boss, whatever it is, we don't get to hear it now. Moving on to the next segment of table topics, which is my favorite one. It's also called as hard sell, because I'm from the sales background. So you are given a topic, you're given a product or a service, then you need to sell it to the person who's sitting here, who will again be none other than Dr. Rajdeep Malwani. And to lead the segment, I would firstly call upon Toastmaster Melvin on stage.
What means they have to sell it to me, so I have to object or what is it?
You can do this. They'll have 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 2.5 minutes. You can object in between. So they're just trying to convince you through the journey. Not necessarily that you have to come to a conclusion with them.
No, but I just asked. In case I can.
Yes. One of the highest authorities of State Bank of India is convincing his ex-manager, the boss, Vijay Mallya, to come back to India. You, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity to see you all in the flesh again. Like my boss, who's a very good orator, who is required here to get the economy running. Don't you think we need something that will make our lives more interesting, not just women running around behind us, but something that puts food on our table and gives our life some meaning. Today is such a wonderful day when we celebrate the women of the world. Though we celebrate them every day in our lives, we dedicate this day so that they know and they love to know throughout the year that they are special in our lives. Tell you to bring my ex-boss back, but all I can think of as of now, which is a lovely memory, a fond memory, and we love to have this memory going on for life. So you don't seem to look at me. I don't know whether you're the state bank manager, but you're a rude guy who don't want to even listen. First listen. Part of your job is to listen. Better listening and better speaking is my job. So I play my part and you do your part.
Okay, I'm not coming back, that's all.
Okay, well, you've just proved that it's better thinking. Thank you.
That was indeed a thoughtful way to bring out your ideas, Melvin. Yes, he had given employment opportunities to lots. And moving on to the next topic, may I call upon Joe Sponsor. Baba Ramdev is having dysentery and he's not fond of English medicine. You just have to convince him to go for English medicine. Over to you.
We start. Well, Baba Ramdev. Well, to tie on the loose ends. Laughter is the best medicine. Is what I can think of now. Let me tell you that, impress upon you that the medicine that I'm going to offer you has been well researched and it is found to be a very good cure and brings instant relief situation that you're currently in. So I think it would really help to use the medicine that I'm going to be prescribing to you. So I please.
Last time I took the handful side of it. Started coming from every side.
but I
medicine too much side of it.
No, I think the brand which is used was probably not. This from Pfizer. But I think this would surely help you. And
I presently last.
I think we've taken all precautions to ensure that you don't have any side effects, and I'm very sure that you'll be cured fully. So all the side effects. Okay, I'll open with you and then you can see the results. So anyway, you have the bad effects of the
Congratulations. those calls are I that seems to saying okay. Seems like you're convinced. Moving on to the next one. May call one. May call Toastmaster. This is a pretty uncomfortable situation. So there was a Zoom office meeting going on. Vijay gets a call. He starts talking to his wife. I don't know what they've spoken, but about 100 people who were on the Zoom heard it, and there is a manager speaking to him. So this meeting between and the manager, whatever they have spoken, manager along with 110 of them on an official Zoom meeting have heard his conversation.
So during my conversation, like when I was addressing, I was presenting something on Zoom call.
Why are you talking with your wife?
So I
came to know your inside, outside, backside, everything.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the state of matter of all the people who are speaking. So I was actually confessing to my wife that.
Oh my God! What all you spoke?
So that like
I could not get after that.
I could not.
He went to Tirupati. He said I became impure after listening to you. No, so much. Vijayananda, I don't know what all he's done to his wife.
So after that, like I actually confessed that I could not actually do all the household chores which were assigned to me that day. And I think like there's no actually shame in that. Like, I think most of the husbands.
You are very proud about it.
What to do, let's say.
What to do?
So the whole and sole reason for that.
Whatever
Whole and sole reason for that was like you said, because you kept the meeting at a very odd hours, like the morning. So not only me, the other 109 people who are there on the Zoom call were also supposed to do the same act during that.
It's a black one now.
10:30 in the morning is odd hour for you. When you eat away.
So that's the time when most of the people have to do the Bartan Jagat Puja. And like when me usually comes.
So what time do you want me to keep the meeting? 11 o'clock at night?
Somewhere afternoon nap, after the afternoon nap, like is what will be a good time. But like for all the conversation what we have heard, I actually think that there's nothing secret about it.
Nothing. I know everything.
Ours open house, like say
open house. It was open spouse, not open house.
So I think I apologize for this.
No problem. If you want, we can send it to all the people to take a feedback from them.
Yes, sir, definitely.
And we find out when the meeting should be held next time, so that it's more comfortable for you and your spouse.
Sure, sir. Thank you, and I acknowledge the mistake, and I will not.
No problem.
Now this was connected to one of the real incidents which happened in the recent past. So urging all of you to be watchful of your actions while on official Zoom calls. Please stay muted when not speaking. Now moving on to the next topic, may I call upon Achyuta and Vishal. Both of them are on a road trip, Swaminathan and Mr. Jha. There is one Mr. Jha. There is one South Indian restaurant towards right, and there is an extreme, and towards the extreme left, there is a North Indian restaurant. Swaminathan wants idli vada sambar, Mr. Jha wants Rajma Chawal Roti, but they have only one bike and they have a lot to travel. So within about 1 hour, they've got to complete their meal. Over to you.
I think we should eat the Rajma Chawal.
I think we should eat the
I don't care. I just want to eat Rajma Chawal.
I would be eat.
But I don't care.
See, we can go about this all day, or we can discuss and try and reach a common ground.
Or we could just eat Rajma Chawal.
Exactly. We can probably have.
No, we can't. We have a long way to go.
Yeah. See, I want to have idli vada.
You ate idli vada in the morning. You did. I was just right next to you. Idli vada for breakfast is different from idli vada in lunch. How?
Because it's a different time of the day.
Sambar is going to be different.
I wouldn't know that because I'm not been to that restaurant.
But Rajma Chawal. Or we could make the. We have only one bike.
I tell you one thing. Drop me idli vada place. You go, you eat, and you come back.
I have a better idea. You drop me and then. What are we, 5-year-old?
Apparently.
Okay, I have a better solution. I'll go on the bike. You find someone else to go.
That would defeat the purpose. We both are coming from Bangalore.
Here's mine, I don't care.
The bike is mine now.
Fuel is mine. Fuel is mine. Fuel is mine. But petrol is what makes it run. Fine. Let's hope they have better or different sambar.
Okay.
Let's go then. Thank you.
Moving on to the next one. We call it one. You know who Arnab Goswami is? So, Rajana is Arnab Goswami, a silent.
Silence.
Yes. We are sending him to a meditation camp where he cannot speak for 7 days. Rajiv sir is playing
No,
up.
you give began.
Okay, Vijay Anand sir is playing up.
I just want to make you stop speaking. Something is more difficult.
How can I bring food to the table by not speaking?
Yeah, you can find some other ways of earning money where you can keep calm, cool. You have tried this. You have tried this. Well, done with it. Like, don't you think like you have to meditate and like go inner and see like what is your inner self is saying? Whatever I want to say to the world. Like you don't you feel like you have to listen to your own inner self? Why? Why? No, I am out of it. Why can't you experience something else? No, like it's awesome, no? Like you want to
awesome means awful.
Maybe you can just
No, maybe I'm very sure it's awful.
no, like why can't you give it a try?
No, I cry.
Instead of that's what you make other people cry. They come and say,
They cry because the news expose people. They cry a lot of joy.
that's what why you want to expose? You know something. Why you want to expose? You know something on you. You impose silence on you. That's good.
See, you're not practicing what you're preaching. You must go to the meditation
Because like you make people like you kind of like bring everyone. You bring everyone to the light. You get to see the light inside you. And you're calm. You can work on those things. No? Have you given a try to meditation? Try. Try. You can try.
No, I'm not interested. I don't want it at all.
What are you interested in?
Speaking.
So what do you want to speak? You speak about only other things, is it? Why can't you?
I'm not self-centered. I speak of other things. Let's talk about my being self-centered. I'm not a kind of person.
Yeah, what is that self? If you want to do it, you have to meditate. Sit in a silent place, calm. Realize what is that self. No, I have been. I want you to come with me. I have already been. I want you to like remain calm.
The last one, may I have Toastmaster Suma? So we have Vijayan sir as Raga, Rahul Gandhi. You're just next time I'm trying. Okay, a simple topic. A simple topic. Why don't you just sell him a pen? Sell a pen. To Vijayan. Probably make you start.
Pen says more words.
I don't like writing. I speak more.
When you write, you can speak more.
No, I do not write. My daughter makes fun of my writing. It's just a proper non-writing, good writing.
You can try.
No, I'm trying. My daughter are cursing me. I lift up pen, they run to the house.
Please buy a pen, sir. It's very.
Ma'am, people are giving me free pen. I'm not taking. Ma'am, why would I pay for a pen? I have to pay for it twice. When I buy it first time, and second I take it home. I pay for it daily.
Actually, it helps me a lot if you buy a pen, please.
Tell me, give me some reason now. What? Go to one reason.
Yeah, my family is starving for many days.
Thank you. I hope that all of you all have had a lot of fun. I at least get that by your gestures. Disclaimer, all these topics were not directly related to anybody, and this was just done for fun. And thank you all. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vasha, for that entertaining section of the meeting. The voting link is on the group, and the code is 5555. So as you vote, we move on to the last section of the meeting, which is the evaluation or the feedback round. May I please welcome the G of today, Toastmaster Smita Roshi, to the stage, please.
I have been noticing from the time I came in at 6:15, the room was fully, I can't say decorated, but well prepared, well set for the meeting at 6:15. And I could see the Sergeant at Arms ready, the board was written, I mean, all the details were filled in. And the sergeant at arms started the meeting. He kept it short and sweet. If I have a suggestion for you, you can start with a little more energy, because the whole point of the sergeant is to raise with your energy, you have to pass it on to everyone. So you can plan something accordingly, which will definitely be, raise your standard. I also wished, when I saw the room, there used to be some flex, which give a very good impression of the newcomers, the audience, the flex with. That is my suggestion to the committee. If it was there, it would definitely help everyone to relate to the Toastmasters motto. So that's one suggestion I could give. Then I'll pass to Secretary Kamlesh. You two were very crisp in your report, and I saw that he was not reading it out; he was just saying it from his memory. So we were very crisp. And only thing I felt you could have used the stage for your report. Now I'll move to evaluation of the prepared speeches. The first speaker was Kirtana, and her evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranri. I request Priyanka. Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, and Toastmaster Kirtana in particular. I must say I loved your speech. It was a very good, informative speech. I got to know and learn the benefits of tears. I would like to share a few areas that you excelled on. Firstly, your speech was well structured and a well-researched speech. Second, I never thought a research speech could also be so humorous. It had good humor, and the statistics was correct. And the last thing is your speech was very well connected to the audience. So now, being your second speech, it was phenomenal. And to take your speech to the next level, I would like to just share a few points. Based on your previous feedback, you had got on to improve on your vocal variety and gestures. To a certain extent, I would say that you have improved a lot in your vocal variety and gestures, but since the last one was an online meeting and this time it is an offline meeting, I would suggest you to still work a little more on your vocal variety and gestures and try to use the entire stage. And this would help you take your speech to the next level. Overall, it was an amazing speech and it was well summarized at the end. Thank you. Goes to Kirtana and her evaluator Priyanka. Our next speaker was Nazneen, and she will be evaluated by Simran.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Words have a magical power to transport us through time and space. Yes?
Yes.
Today, Nazneen, you took us on a wonderful, brilliant journey. I think each of us, if we want to do a trip, we don't need to Google Switzerland. Her strength to me lay in the fact that she remembered such intricate details. Names of places that were not in her native language.
And this goes a long way in multiple speeches and presentations. Her vocal variety, the ability to emphasize, she stretched words, was louder in places, and I think this is your strength. You have great presence on stage. If I had to change this a little bit, I would say use that strength and build on it. And I felt that you were being held back by that mic. I feel that that mic and just standing in that one place was not allowing you to move around and use your body language the way you could have. You were not being able to unleash the power that you actually do have. And sometimes there are these little things that hold us back. It could be anything, and maybe watching a video of you doing it again can really help. For me, it was always playing with my hair, so I tied it up just before coming up. Right? Each of us has that little quirk that kind of pulls us back, and I think that will really push you forward. The thing I could say, it would be pick one story that takes us on a journey through our senses. Visual, emotional, the smells, the sounds. Pick one thing that is memorable. Build a character around it. Introduce us to your family. Something that we take home and that we can tell our family. Maybe a particular place you went to. One special incident. And really bring that to life. Because that is where your vocal variety will really play out. She has great presence, and I think finding your strength and then using that strength to really make that powerful speech is what each of us needs to do. It's as simple as that. It could have been as simple as maybe, ladies and gentlemen, please close your eyes. Imagine you're surrounded by these tall mountains. Could be anything. You have that power. I think it's time for you to really unleash it. So for everyone, whatever it is that is your little quirk and power, take that and make it your strength. Be brave, be bold. On Women's Day, happy Women's Day, and I hope you unleash that power, you go forward, and truly be the best that you can be. Thank you.
That was a powerful evaluation and message for the Women's Day as well. Thank you, Simran, for evaluator. And now for the milestone speech. The speech was by Teresa and DTM Teresa, and the evaluator, DTM Sumitra Mann.
A very good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, guests, and the gutsy Teresa in particular. Let's congratulate Teresa on 3 counts. Firstly, on this milestone speech, she's completed a part. Secondly, she's finished her speech in time. She generally overshoots time. And thirdly, for being so productive, she took 9 months to complete 16 projects, whereas, at the first time, she took 9 months to give her first project. So let's give her a good round of applause. Must say, your humor is very infectious. There were ripples, unending ripples of laughter. So you are excelled in your humor. And you just let yourself go. So the spontaneity also was super duper, right? Everyone was with you as you reflected on your journey through the path, and you took the project thread to take us step by step. So that was done very well. You opened with the quote of Mandela, and then again you tied it back at the end. And I like your message: ask and you will receive, seek, you will find, open, and things will open up for you. So you had a very good message. Now, how could you make it better? Perhaps I think maybe in terms of organizing, we all enjoyed it thoroughly. But now if I have to go and share it with my people, there's something solid to hold it together. Maybe an acronym or something that how you grew, certain qualities that developed in you, and this is how make it sort of pick out a word like growth or something and around it. So maybe in terms of organizing, that's one suggestion I have. And in terms of challenging yourself, I would say why not try stand-up comedy, because I'm sure you'll be well at that. But on the whole, it was a thoroughly entertaining with gusts of humor. Yeah, keep it up, Teresa, and we surely look forward. To you completing your second part in record time, not 9 months, maybe even shorter. Over to you.
We should give her an applause standing up because it's and if I were to give you one suggestion, Teresa, I was sitting in that corner and I was wishing, Teresa, look at me, talk to me, So maybe you can work a little bit more on your eye contact, but maybe it's because I was sitting on that corner, but if it wasn't, it would have been nice, I think. So that's my personal opinion. Now on to, next I'll go to the topic master. The topic master, Varsha, you made us roll out of laughter, I should tell. You always have a creative way of doing every role. I remember the grammarian role you took and how everyone was, very enthusiastically participating in that. The same way you did it here. You came out. She was not even reading out. She was explaining the situations, and she gave the correct topics to people. So that was, and actually when you said butterflies in the stomach and sweaty hands and wetty pants, where I thought you were talking about yourself. And then I realized, oh, it's about those who are about to take the table topics. So that was a good way of, introducing. The topics were different than what we heard. And the timer was so engrossed. I think at some point of time he forgot to show the time cards. So you made us all engaging. And only one thing I felt was, since you gave audience a chance to interrupt, the people who was actually giving the topic lost out on their time. So maybe you could have restricted on that to the last minute or 30 seconds to do that. That have been good for the person. Already they are not like experienced people like Rajdeep sir, but others, including me. I really would have had sweaty hands at that point of time if I was there. So that is one suggestion. Otherwise, it was wonderfully done, Varsha. Let's all give her a... We'll move to the president, Toastmaster Ayyappa. Ayyappa, you are prepared, you are so organized in the beginning. He asked all the guests to get up and speak about themselves. You made them comfortable, and what's more important is you gave them a few seconds to speak, which is what Toastmasters is all about. So that was really well done. So the guests definitely would have felt welcome. Then your presidential address, Today actually was a day of personal stories. He showed us examples. Just did not speak about it, showed. And the power of women, Sumitra ma'am, and how Rajdeep sir's mother influenced him to grow in life. Well thought on this Women's Day. And you introduced TMOD in a very personal way. She would have felt really happy about how you remember her speech icebreaker. So you introduced her well. So overall, it was wonderfully done. Then comes the TMOD. She connected. She told us how she was brave in asking, even though there were setbacks. So setbacks are she told us how to overcome, how to be brave. That was wonderfully said. Now, and you introduce the theme with your own personal story. Your introductions to all role takers was well researched. She really has done a good job in finding out about each and every person, something different about everyone. So definitely every speaker or every role taker who would have come here, they would have really been happy to be introduced. Another good thing I found was you mentioned the mentor, the respect we give to the mentors. So I was really happy about it. Small tiny suggestion would be your energy level. I know you're a working mother, and next time you will really work on it, and that will take you.
It should be like that only. Gap of 6 centimeters. While doing so, your body language will be affected. You can't use the right hand at all. That's why we have collar mics. There were collar mics. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Why Mr. Somshekar was the president, we used to have collar mics. Then Mr. Nitin, when he returned from China, he had brought a couple of mics, collar mics. I don't know what happened to them. Then one more thing, one more word I have been insisting upon here. Every time I come here, I request them to use that word, not use the other word. But nobody listens to me. You are in a hurry. Yeah, it's the word deliver or delivered. I always say we present the speech. Don't come and say, I have come here to deliver. And blame your mentor for that.
I apologize for the small error. I mean, the ringing of the phone. I thought I had put it in mute. Now is the turn of our listener to ask questions. Toastmasters Region.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster is not all about speaking. It's about thinking and listening. Why people are laughing, I don't know. So I'll quickly have 3 questions. First one, who was the best evaluator last meeting? Second question, according to Kirtana, how many times women cry?
6 times. 6 times.
Hey, you know very well. Excellent. DTM Teresa ma'am's path. Which path she completed? Leadership. Oh, excellent. And she quoted Nelson Mandela. What was the quote? If nobody knows, ma'am, you can tell. I will note it down.
May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears.
Okay, I will take it down later. Who was Melvin's ex-boss?
Jay Malia.
And Rajana was trying to. Rajana was who? Even Vijay also he was trying. Okay, that much only from my end. Thank you so much.
So all the tag L team members did a wonderful job, and winding up, we're celebrating International Women's Day. My heart goes out to every lady, every gutsy lady sitting here. You have come out of your shell, come on, rise and shine. Eleanor Roosevelt said, a woman is like a tea bag. You cannot tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. And to the men all out here, if you can uplift women health-wise, educational or technological front, sports, artwork, at work, well and good. But if you cannot, start from your family. Empower the ones at home. Support their innermost desires. Mind you, in this technological world, if you don't do it, your neighbor or a friend online may do it. So, the rise of women does not mean fall of men. We complement each other. Over to you, dear Modi. The voting link for the roll takers is 5555. On that note, a very big thank you to the committee for giving me a chance and for making this meeting a grand success. I know that each one of you have enjoyed this evening, learned something new, and I'd like to repeat what DTM Teresa said. She said, ask and it will be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. A very good evening to all of you once again, and over to you, President Ayuba.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hannah, for conducting this meeting so wonderfully and taking this meeting so brilliantly. Thank you so much. Okay. I request all our gutsy men to stand up. Yeah. Gutsy men. Yeah. Yes. So all our gutsy men, a good round of applause. Okay. Let's give a good round of applause to Toastmaster Smita for taking the general evaluation role. Before I forget, thank you so much, Sureka ma'am, for your wonderful, delicious, yummy snacks. And we are always grateful to you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, our speech club offline meeting is going on very well. Next Sunday, we have the second day. And if any of you volunteer to come join our meeting, please let us know. Only we'll entertain only a few members because of the COVID issue. If anybody interested to join the meeting, please let us know in advance. Thank you so much. It's already running late. Let me announce the awards for tonight. Best Tagger Team Player goes to Toastmaster Shriji. Best Role Taker award goes to Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza. Best Evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Simran Chopra. Best Table Topic award goes to Toastmaster Suma. And the Best Speaker award goes to Toastmaster Ayappa. Yes, DTM Teresa. And that's it for tonight. Let's catch up next week, same place, same time. And Shubhratri, good night. Thank you so much. Teresa, I forgot to give this award. Best speaker award.